Ron, let me ask you another question. So, what do you say to those that say that Israel right now is killing innocent grandmothers and infants in
Right.
Gaza?
Let me just say this. I don't know anybody in Israel that takes any delight in killing innocent people. That is not who we are. And that is a narrative that is so false. I have spent the past month with soldiers, and they're the sweetest young men and young women you've ever met. They're not warmongers. They're not hungry to go out. And they do want to defend their nation after seeing what happened on October 7th, but they're not terrorists. They're not barbarians. Now, well, then we've seen on TV, we've seen the buildings down and people have died. Yes, here's the problem. We now have two choices. We can either destroy Hamas or we can say it's too high of a price. We don't want to hurt innocent people, so we're not. That's what we've done for 20 years. We've dealt with them with kid gloves for the last 20 years because we didn't want to do what we're doing now. The problem is that Hamas, because they're at the end of the day, they're utter cowards because they have embedded themselves with a civilian population. Their headquarters is under a hospital. In other words, not only are 242 Israelis hostages in Gaza, but the entire Palestinian population in Gaza are hostages. Because, like, for instance, right now, if any Palestinian tries to flee to the south, which we've warned them to do, we've told them, we don't want to hurt you, please go to the south. Hamas is taking their car keys. And we have proof of this. They have taken their IDs and they have shot at them. They are literally shooting their own people for being unwilling to be a human shield. So the situation that we have now is that we have to send our young men and young women, 20 years old, 19 years old, we have to send them in to find Hamas, to eliminate. We don't have another choice as a nation. We can't. For 20 years, we've dealt with rocket fire. A person died, 5 people died, 3 people died. For me, that's unacceptable, but it wasn't enough to go to war over. It wasn't enough to invade Gaza and destroy Hamas. But they came in and they mutilated 1,400 people. They mutilated dead bodies like they were paper dolls. So now we have to go in and we also have to protect our army. We're not going to sacrifice our young women and young men. There is no easy answer to this. War is not pretty. It's ugly. There's always collateral damage, but we're doing everything we can. From the very beginning, we said, please get out of harm's way. Go to the south so you don't get hurt. By the way, Egypt borders Gaza. Egypt could open up their border tomorrow and protect everyone, but they're saying no. Now, they have opened it up to a limited amount of people, but in the beginning, for weeks, they would not open their border. And the king of Jordan said, absolutely, we will not take any refugees from Gaza. So the other Arab nations are not letting them leave. Hamas is not letting them leave, and we have to get rid of Hamas. There's no simple answer to this, and it breaks my heart that there are grandmothers in Gaza that are dying, and there are kids that are dying. It's horrible. Nobody wants this, but we cannot. And by the way, I'm saying we cannot let Hamas exist. Let me just say this one last thing. Once we eliminate Hamas, and if we are able, with the help of the United States and other nations, to put in a normal government in Gaza, that's going to be a blessing for the Palestinian people. That's going to be for the prosperity of all Gaza.